so fluffy from training.
Says Martin.
I know. I am
Such a
as
bad
well.
look. You've got a hat on.
Yeah, I'm relying on my hat to protect me.
Protect your hat.
Yeah. You've seen how sweaty I am, like a drenched bowling ball.
See, that's why I went in there.
Had to wash my residue off you.
More his. Oh, it was disgusting. He kissed me, and it was just like a slug.
Mostly Lewis's, to be fair.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, it was mostly Lewis's.
I genuinely.
Testosterone in it. You get a pump there.
It was disgusting.
Oh, but we finally got you on. It's took a while to get us here, but
How long have you been doing it now?
I think this is going to be episode 32.
Gosh.
I know.
Yeah,
You actually steaming up.
So is
Warm
this
sessions.
is this your 4-hour Joe Rogan one then?
Oh yeah, this is the long one.
The longest.
Yeah, this is one that people are gonna just pause and
They're like,
catch
did
up
they
on.
really just say that?
Yeah.
What?
He's like, they are morons.
well,
Three of us are in this room.
100%.
we brought 4 memory cards and quite a few batteries, so don't worry.
We're good.
Mine's plugged into the mains, my camera, so we're gonna be good. But anyway, yeah, we have Tish and Ben Allsopp.
We do.
From Allsopp BJJ.
Yep. New and fresh.
Formerly from Majestic, but you've now created your own gym.
Yeah, opening properly on the 1st of July.
Yeah.
But
And also behind the face of it.
So you got 2 for 1.
I know. We're really just packing it in here now, aren't we?
It's like, right, we've got him down. Let's just get him. Let's get him in. Ask him everything.
We will ask them everything. Well, I think the best one to go through is what's actually behind the face of it. I think we all know what Allsopp BJJ is going to be. It's,
do you?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Weird sex cult.
Yeah, weird sex cult. Picture of Craig Jones on the wall in the
Have
game.
you seen it?
Have you really?
Oh, you sleep not joking.
No, the one the Henzo. Not
Yeah, you got the Hilo Gracie one, yeah.
Oh, that's another.
Awesome. I was looking at that, I was like, oh, there's only like 200 of them, and it's like, you were on the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were there up at 3 in the morning.
One of my guys gifted it to me. He lost to a heel hook in about 30 seconds. And then the next session, okay, I've got a gift for you for doing so badly.
Yeah. I'm so shit. Rather than bringing a pineapple, he brings in a Craig Jones picture.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was going to say there couldn't have been anything better than a picture of Craig Jones,
We'll
to be fair.
about next week.
Yeah. So behind the face of it,
Yeah.
it's your own little operation that you've been going, and you've also started your podcast on it. Do you like to tell us what it's about?
Oh, it's so strange because anybody that kind of knows me knows that I'm very kind of organic in the way that I do things. So life changes, things happen. So I decided after I'd had Jessica that I would go and do a university degree. Because as a kid, I was like, you stick me in university, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to mess around. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And my degree was psychology, psychotherapy and counselling. And at first I was like, oh, I'll be a counsellor. You know, I love counselling. I've been in counselling myself. But then during my degree, I was one of those who got pregnant during like COVID times.
Benjamin.
And I was working full time. I'm just saying, like, we weren't bored. He was asleep. But it was that kind of.
Not powerful this one.
Yeah, it really is. It was that kind of period where I was going through learning all these different things about the psyche, about the way that we think.
Yeah.
And I was always interested in it anyway through my own life experiences. And it really going through postnatal depression with him, going through COVID, tried to do a degree, work full time. I needed to understand me, like massively understand me. And for any of the kind of budding psychologists or counsellors or anybody that overthinks out there, which is 99% of the population, understanding yourself is the best and the worst thing that you can do. You know that. You know,
the power of self-awareness is empowering but destructive as well.
It is so destructive, and the more I learn about what goes on underneath the hood, the worse I got and the better I got. And it was that kind of analogy, that understanding, that really kind of thought, right, what do I really want to do with this degree? Where do I want to go? Because I was in postnatal depression. I kind of started doing fitness more. I started doing, of all things, CrossFit. Why would you? Some normal people will go for a run through the woods or go to, go and throw things in a rage room. No, I decided, I know, let's do CrossFit, because he was already in the gym doing Jiu-Jitsu and MMA and all that because I didn't really know what that was at the point. And it was out of that I kind of recreated myself as this person that was always interested in people, and not just surface level, like really what goes on, what makes you tick, what makes you do things. And then that kind of morphed into, as I was evolving into different versions of myself and who I was, and having 2 kids and all of that, I then found sport and exercise psychology. And so this image that I'd created for myself as behind the face of it, because that was always going to be my kind of headline, that was who I was, it just always stuck as an authentic image for myself. It kind of then became my sports psychology side. But where the name comes from was basically, I was probably Jessica's age, probably maybe even a little bit younger. My sister was in the loft hut part of my she's going to kill me if she ever hears me call her this, but my grandma, we call her Nen. She had this loft conversion, and I remember my Nen had taught me to write poetry when I was a kid. There was none of this kind of, oh, go do dance, or oh, suck it up. It was like, right, where are you going to channel your emotions? And as a kid, it was hard, so she taught me to write poetry. I said to my sister, just flippantly, I was looking in the mirror and I was looking at myself, I was like, I don't really know who I am. Who's this person? I said to my sister, I was like, Tor, I need a name for a poem. I need a title for a poem. I'm going to work off the back of it. And she was going through some stuff at the time, and she just off the top of her head turned around and said, I didn't choose this space. And it was one of those most poignant moments in my life as a child. I was only young, but it completely shaped my view of everything. So it started really, really young. So that's really where behind the face of it came from, really, was that my elder sister turned around and said, I didn't choose this face. And I went, holy crap. In my head, I was like, that's so true. I'm going to write. I wrote a song off it. I wrote poetry off it. And then, the rest is history. But that's basically where behind the face of it comes from, because I kind of look at someone and go, you're not telling me the full story here. And I want to know why. And I want you to understand why. So that's where it all comes from.
It's interesting that your sister, assuming she's a child back then as well,
she was a teenager. She's 5 years older than me, so she must have been 16, because she was at college, I think, at the time.
Because that's quite a deep stoic kind of
mad
idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you can't change your face, really, so...
I didn't choose it, but I know where it actually came from. And I'm sure she won't mind me sharing this, but it was almost because she was being forced to put on a smile. As even so young, as a teenager, with our background as kids, because we have a domestic violence background as children. That's why it was so poignant. It was like, how could a child or a teenager get that deep? And it was just, it's
also probably that thing of, being a woman thing as well, where I wonder how many times you get told a day, oh, it's just smile, love.
I could do a whole episode on that. Just smile.
If she's a teenage girl, I wonder she's probably started to experience that in her life, and she, when if you're around about say 13, 14, 15 as a young girl, when you're starting to get guys going, just smile, love, you smile, why you're not smiling? It's like it was very much it's weird how that happens, because back then, you're talking nearly 30, well, I'd say about 26, 27 years ago. We obviously, mental health and stuff has been around, and people faking and masking has been around for a while. But then, you didn't talk about it. No. Things were still happening in the home, and people were like, let them deal with it. That's nothing to do with us. Nobody cared really why you were doing things. They just saw what was on the surface. There's something, where the mental health has changed over years. My family come from Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the Catholics over there, and they were involved in the Troubles. There was stuff going on, and when my mum and my auntie and uncle all moved over to England, my grandma got with a former soldier who'd been injured, and he'd gone through all the mental health training, and he's actually said to her, your children have PTSD. And it's that thing of, this is in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was like, what the hell's PTSD?
What is that?
She's like, what's PTSD? And she's like, and he had to put it down into terminology that they knew back then. It's like, they're shell-shocked. It's they have gone through so much trauma, and it's just, you know. But the changes in mental health has been tremendous over the decades, to the point where we're at now, where, you know, the stigma is slowly disappearing. It's still there. I think there's elements of it in different places. I think we've seen a bit of a rough one recently with Fionn Davis. And Gordon Ryan, his reaction to Fionn. Like, so Fion's had a rough time. You know, she got that call out. I think we mentioned it in the last episode, where she got criticised, and I think it's unfairly, by Craig Jones, quite publicly. And she obviously got a backlash, and her DMs must have been absolutely horrible with that. And then the way that Gordon Ryan's dealt with that, and his reaction to that, has just been, you know, it's like, why are you hitting someone when they're down?
Gordon Ryan things to do, isn't it?
The Gordon Ryan things to do. Yeah.
See, a lot of people are probably kind of on the edge of the seat now, thinking, oh, what's she gonna say, you know? You know what, I am very kind of, I take a step back approach to all of this. And when, I mean, we obviously know that Steve's been kind of through a little bit of the being attacked with the whole female thing and stuff like that, and it's so easy and
to just say something.
Well, yes, but what frustrates me, and I'm fall victim to this sometimes as well quite a lot, actually, I just don't act on it. It's so easy to have an opinion, to say, well, they shouldn't have done this and they shouldn't have done that, and she needs to do that and he needs to do that, and she shouldn't be so soft, and she should, you know, she needs to be harder, or she needs to be softer. It's far too easy for us to do that, because everybody loves to have a voice, and they're entitled to a voice. But what we have to remember is that if you are not physically sitting in that seat, if you are not physically going through those emotions and those thoughts and reframing whatever thoughts are in your mind, you have no right to say whether somebody should or shouldn't do something. However, on the flip side of that, if you are publicly going to put out there that you are struggling with something, you need to also be open to the fact that you cannot control what other people say and do. You have to be ready for that. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with what people say and what people do in reaction to that at all. But what I am saying is you have to be ready to see both sides of things. But what I do not agree with, and I will never agree with, is somebody making a comment on somebody else's feelings, emotions, and experiences based on their own perception, because you will never be in that seat. So whether she's female, whether you're male, female, whatever, it makes no odds. You could be a flipping frying pan. Nobody will fully understand your seat ever. So for me personally, when a woman or a man or whoever decide to share an experience, my response would be, do you know what, I'm really glad that you've shared that, because at the end of the day it shows that you are a human being. Now, whether you agree with that or not is your choice, but it's how you approach that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Craig Jones was wrong. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say that he was right either. He did what's right. He's done what's right for him.
And Fionn did what's right for her, and 100%. That's all that people can really do.
That's all you can do. And as soon as people start having an opinion on what's right and wrong, what should be said, what shouldn't be said, what should be shared and what shouldn't, that opens a massive can of worms. I personally, and this is my personal belief, and it's not a kind of reflection on female in sports, but I personally believe that women should be allowed to have that vulnerability shown and respected. And at the same time, women should respect the fact that it's not going to be received the same way everywhere. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Fiona is already aware of that. Nobody deserves to be made to feel like crap. Ever. And it's a hard lesson.
Except what?
It's a hard lesson. So yeah, mental health is, in my opinion, overdone. It's way overdone. It's being used as an excuse. But that shouldn't stop the genuine stories and the genuine stuff coming through, and it shouldn't be attacked, in my opinion. but you're gonna get it, and it's the horrible world of social media. But my main point was, sorry, I digress. My main point was,
or our podcast telling you,
my main point was,
we'll just send you the files and then you can, we'll just say it's your podcast.
Yeah, just to go on mine. My main point was going to be this, in that nobody has a right to pull somebody down on social media unless they know that person intimately. And even if they do know them intimately, you should not be pulling them down.
Not publicly anyway. You should, if you have something to talk to
absolutely, 100%.
You do it
I don't like that. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big you are, how little you are. I'm married to Ben, and I would never publicly pull him down, and I know him intimately enough to know whether what he's saying is BS or not.
But we've had conversations as well where there's been quite a complex situation, one that I think is quite complex, and I've got an opinion on it, and I'll run it past you just to see. It's like,
it's not what you've got to be careful with how you approach things. Like, say to them, do you know what? If you're going to go public with something, you've got to be very, very mindful that the damage that you can do, because, and this is what annoyed me about this whole thing with Steve, it wound me up. I was walking around the house ranting my head off because women, a lot of women, not all women, sorry, I shouldn't generalise, but some women have got it in their head that just because they're a woman, they should be this, they should be that. You've got to let us do this, you've got to let us do that, you've got to respect this, you've got to respect that. Well, everybody deserves that, I'm sorry. But there are arseholes out there, male, that will go too far, that shouldn't be saying what they're saying. But at the same time, why all of a sudden do we deserve more? Why do we deserve more respect? Why do we... It should just be you're a human being. Just get on with it. And whether you're male or female, if you're acting like a dick... You're a dick. You're a dick. Whether you're a man or a woman. Like, take that dick, take him out of the group, shove him away and get on with life. Don't generalise people. Don't say, oh, men need to do this or women need to do this. No. Just get on with it and remove the dickheads that are causing a problem. Does that make... Do you know what I mean? So I'm all for women doing it. I'm all for building the female community. But in the right way. That's why I'll always go up to a bloke and say, do you want to roll? It's not always easy. Sometimes I've got upset about it because men don't approach me, don't get me wrong. But
because then I'll beat them up if they...
So I think it needs to be a little bit more equal in a very unbalanced world, and it will forever remain unbalanced as far as I'm concerned, because it is...
Because people are different. And
it's It's the sport is full of testosterone. You've got to deal with that. If you can't deal with that, you shouldn't be in the sport. All for go women, female power, but don't abuse it. No, 100%.
Well, I think
got me on a tangent now. Look at it. I'm like...
I think one of the points that I said in our conversation is that the communication is poor in getting across ideas, because people do it just by typing something, and the detail gets lost in when you just send a text message. We know that a lot of the times. And there's this little saying that I like, and it's something that I really work on, especially when I'm dealing with other people at work, when I'm dealing with people at home, and like even with my missus, who's been injured for the past 6 months with a broken ankle and recovering, and I'm trying to understand her and stuff. And it's just a simple saying of communication's done not at the mouth of the speaker, but at the ears of the listener. And it's that thing of, if you're going to say something to someone, you need to understand how they're going to receive it. And if they're not going to receive it the way that you're going to say it, then you need to readjust how you're going to say something.
How do you know that, though? How do you know how they're going to receive it?
It's just from experience, isn't it? And you have to... Usually because I dealt with a trade union, and I had to deal with making communications for 600 plus people. And it's one of these things of, quite often, it's doing it to the lowest common denominator. So it's trying to say it in its most simple terms possible.
Low in Jiu-Jitsu.
You've not seen tram drivers. It gets even lower.
That's why mainly when we have family meetings, my missus works as a translation for me. Because usually I joke around about stuff which you can't talk about, and she then explains in deep why I said that.
That's what I have to do with him, and I'm not even translating. Well, I kind of am, I suppose.
Just don't say anything.
But it's, I think for me, what I know from my own experience about communication is, if you have an idea, you need to break it down into very simple concepts. And it's just like Jiu-Jitsu, where you're doing it at concepts levels, and that's how you're communicating it. So if I've got something to say and it's it's quite complex to say, or it could appear complex to someone that's not really within that mindset. So within the trade union element, I had quite often had to speak about legislation. And it's just bringing it back down to what does the actual wording of the legislation mean, that concept of understanding that. And one of the big ones for us to keep sort of on track was the Equality Act, and there's issues around the Equality Act, and it's trying to explain to people this is why this is unfair, and why this is a protected characteristic and why this isn't. And even just simple things sometimes were a thing where people were saying this is discrimination, and it's like, that's not discrimination. Discrimination's a legal term. It's like, this is unfair. That's two different things.
That's it. I think you're 100% right on that. And I think, like I said, women should be protected, but also those men that the guys that know how to be a normal human being and not be arseholes, they should be protected too. You know, and there's always going to be an unbalance in everything, not just in jiu-jitsu, but you see it in Muay Thai. You see it in Taekwondo. There's always an unbalance. But if you go in with a mutual respect for anything, whether it's sport or work, I suppose what it boils down to is every single person, whether you are a pro athlete, a celebrity, somebody who's literally just doing jiu-jitsu for the first time, before you even step on those mats, before you even get on social media, you need to work out what underpins you as an athlete, what your personal and professional philosophies are. If you haven't done that, you are going into the wild with no protection. Because if you dig deep into why you're getting on those mats, what you expect, what's important to you, you kind of go on and go, I know myself now why I won't roll with them. I know why I am here, why I'm even getting on the mats. What is it for me? If I come in with anger, how's that going to portray to new people? If I come in with a massive load of baggage on my back, how is that going to affect me, and how is that going to affect other people? You're almost instantly aware. It sounds a lot, but it's really not. You can do it in the matter of a split second. Why am I here? Figure out what is your driving personal philosophy. Then you will figure out your way through, in my opinion, any kind of sport. If you can't do that, you've got some serious issues, because you better figure it out quickly, because you're either going to piss yourself off or you're going to piss other people off.
I think finding your why is your internal driver is actually probably one of the best things you can do for your life overall. It helps you understand yourself on a personal level when you're dealing with the jiu-jitsu and your combat sports and whatever other hobbies you want to do, and your professional level as well. If you understand what drives you as a person,
that's why behind the face of it, that's why the surface level stuff never ever works. It will crack. You will try and go, oh, this is why I'm here, without any thought. It will crack, and the real reason will come out. Either your coach is going to absolutely flatten you and put you on your backside because you're being a dick, or you're going to turn around and go and you'll go into like fight mode. You'll just kind of go, okay, I have no idea why I'm here. I did it recently, so I'm in my last stage of my training as a sport and exercise psychologist. So I've done 5 years so far, and I've got like another 3.
So that's going to be like PhD?
It is PhD level, so it's the equivalent of a professional doctorate that I'm doing now, but it's called SEPAR. No, not if I did, unless I do an actual professional doctorate, which is exactly what I was just about to say. So because of this idea of why, does it fit? Does training fit? Is this the right time to train? For me, with my professional, my other side of life, I literally went a few days ago, I messaged him and I was like, I don't think I want to do SEPAR anymore. I'm already nearly a year in, spent loads of money on it, but I boiled down to my why. Why am I doing this part of my training? Does it fit into how my life's evolved? I'll take what I said right back at the beginning, which is I'm very organic. Opportunity comes, you take it. If it's right, you do it. So now we've opened the gym, and it's also an alternative provision for kids. when I started SEPAR, it wasn't really on the cards. It wasn't really something that I thought was going to happen straight away. But because it is, SEPAR doesn't fit. So now I'm looking at stopping that and doing my professional doctorate instead. Yes, money will be wasted. Yes, people would say, well, you've got to do it now because you've been doing it for so long and it'd be a waste. Why is it a waste? If my why doesn't fit, why am I doing this? It's not.
You don't have motivation to finish it.
Exactly. So why put myself through that for 3 years if it's not going to benefit the gym, it's not going to benefit my alternative provision? It will, obviously. But it's not what I want to do anymore. And this is what people are scared of. They're scared of kind of going...
Changes,
right, this isn't me now. Yeah. I'm not this person, so screw it. Let's just see where life takes me. So the likelihood is that I will stop doing my SEPAR and do my professional doctorate, which will give me the same accreditation. I'll still be HCPC registered. I'll still be able to consult if I want to. But my love is with youth.
Dr. Tish.
I will be Dr. Tish, yeah. But my love is with the youth.
You can heal people.
Yeah. Oh, don't say that. No. Just a bit of a side note. I cannot heal people. I'm not allowed to do that.
That ruins my next question.
Because I was going to say, Ben can smash the person and you can help them to recover.
Help them to recover themselves.
I can absolutely talk to you
crying in the car on the way home.
I cannot claim I can heal anyone.
The thing is, my next question was very going to be on that topic. It's like, how do we fix Martin?
What do you mean?
More wristlocks.
Only Martin can fix Martin. I can facilitate it, but you can fix
I'm not broken.
You need to make small joint manipulation legal as well, so you stop tickling people.
So, but I think we can get back to Ben now as well, because he's been hiding in the corner. Like
he
Baby.
loves hiding in the corner.
Yeah, you're like Baby in Dirty Dancing. You've been put in the corner, haven't you? Nobody puts Ben in the corner. So
they do, because he likes it there.
So you're opening your Allsopp BJJ.
That's partly your fault. You told me I needed to. So.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, I peer pressured the shit out of you.
Is it difficult?
It's stressful. There's a lot to think about, and because I've got a good job, I can sort of half afford it, which takes some of the stress off. I just need to break even, and I was saying this to someone the other day, I don't need it to be a rip-roaring success. I just need to be able to pay for itself, and then I can be happy. It's like a hobby.
I just think it's a very, very complex way for you not to pay subs for a club.
I pay the rent instead.
No, you get everyone else to pay the rent, everyone else to fund everything, and you're just like,
Because I thought originally you work as a coach full time.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got bullied into that as well.
Should we start from the beginning of like your jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, let's hear his version first.
Yeah. And then Tish can tell us the truth.
She'll correct you on the way.
That's his marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on then.
7.5 years ago is when it started. So I did karate as a kid and hated it.
Yep.
So I stopped at, I think it was like blue belt, because I got really tired of learning the kata. And it's more like dancing. I'm not a very good dancer. Tish will tell you.
No
rhythm.
Yeah.
He's
You're
really
white as
not.
hell.
I love it, but he's not.
White man on that dance floor.
Yeah.
Fast forward anyway. I was kind of depressed, I guess. It's like just living life, getting along with things. Tish said, "What did we do before we did jiu-jitsu?" I was like, "I don't really know. We just
Call of Duty,
vegged out, Call of Duty.
We were miserable.
Yeah, PlayStation, Love Island. And I got it. I started to like the UFC. I watched, I think it's TJ Dillashaw and Renan Barão. That was the one that got me into it.
Obscure match there, isn't it?
But it's a good match. Watch it. And because I got into the UFC, I heard about the charity, so you can train for 8 weeks and then get in a cage. It's not for me. I don't like getting hit, but I did it anyway. And I remember telling Tish, and she kind of fobbed me off. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I did it. So I walked in. I started off with one company in Salford, actually. They did the first session, and it was like a boot camp. It's disgusting, horrible, just like cardio work. I was like, how's this making us fun? Anyway, at the end of that, there was like, not enough of you showed up, so we're going to cancel it. And I was fuming. I'm a bit autistic, so if I've planned something, it needs to happen.
Just a bit.
But I found Ultra MMA,
Yeah.
which is one that actually still exists and actually works. So I signed up for that, 8 weeks training at Majestic. Fighting is not for me, but I did enjoy the Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So I bought myself a gi, and then I turned up the next week after the fight and started there. And then our coach at the time, I was going through some personal stuff, and I covered a lot of the classes. So I was a blue belt at the time, I think.
Yeah.
About a year and a half in, I got my blue belt. And so
No need to brag.
I was. Yeah.
It took me 2.5 years.
Shut up.
It wasn't even a year and a half. It's 17 months. I can give you the exact statistics. I've got it on a spreadsheet.
No, he's not
I've
joking.
seen the spreadsheet.
He's not joking.
In one of them, there's 15 sheets of that particular thing. Anyway, I was covering the classes, and then one day he asked me to cover, and then never returned. And so I got asked, "Do you want to? Can you teach for us?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Sure." And then the MMA coach at the time, he'd left, recommended his mate, and his mate was rubbish. It was terrible. It killed off the MMA. There were about 2 by the end of it, and then he just left. And Kev, the owner of Majestic, came up to me and said, "Ultra starts in a week. Can you teach it and teach the MMA?" I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I taught the Ultra, and so that's how I got kind of manhandled into teaching, and I've been teaching ever since.
Yeah.
So literally had no choice.
I had no, but I did.
He
I could
did.
have said no. I do enjoy. I'm rubbish on the mats. You two won't know that because you're both more rubbish.
Nice.
I'll take as a compliment.
I'm taking that. You said more. More is always a positive.
More is better.
So like, stick me in Big Blue, for instance, he's going to tie me up every time. If I really try, he can't submit me, but I rarely try. I like to. If he wants the back, he could have the back, and I'll try and get out of that. And then he'll face crack me every time, and then I'll tap and we'll go again, which he did today a lot. My jaw hurts a bit.
Yeah, I've got a black eye from it already.
I can see.
You got me straight on the face. I might as well just give my neck up.
Yeah, so I'm not that great in actual rolling, but I've got all the knowledge because I'm autistically obsessive. Don't watch this, people at work, but I spend a lot of my work day watching Jiu-Jitsu, catching up on instructionals, watching John Danaher 5 times speed so I can actually get through it without falling asleep. And Tish has been on for years to start I think I was still a blue belt at the time, to start her own gym. I was like, I can't do that, I'm a blue belt, I'm rubbish. I'll do it when I'm a black belt, which could be 20 years down the line, who knows. And then he chirped on at me and was like, "You need to start your own gym." I was like, "I did it when I'm a brown belt."
You did.
Because
I
I
was
thought
so
that would buy me
excited when
some
you did
time.
that.
I was like, "I've got another 5 years, buy me some time, obviously."
Yeah.
But then Tish pushed more, and now we're opening.
Good job.
That's the story of my life.
I'm looking forward to
Thank
it.
you for listening.
So now you're currently brown belt.
No, I'm purple still.
Yeah.
Right.
But I use the belts as an excuse because there's a lot of gyms in Wigan. So we've got like Tom Rutledge, she's a black belt, ex UFC.
Yeah.
We've got brown belt over in Chevington. We've got black belt in Polgar.
Yeah.
There's so many gyms with like the belts and the credentials and within the UFC and that. So I was like, no one's going to come to me. I need credentials.
Yeah.
But here we are.
I've seen that there was in America one guy, what he did. He was a blue belt, but he decided to do private lessons back home in the garage. He set it up, everything, and each time the person turns in, he puts the black belt on.
Oh no! No!
Oh, man.
Yeah, they caught him doing that eventually.
Oh no!
There was that guy that said God promoted him, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, just see. Oh.
But I'm looking forward to going up to yours, and I think you got to do well because you've got this really good mindset and you've got this playful energy at yours. When you watch the videos and when you roll with the pair of you, there's this element of we're here to have a good time and learn, and I think we all know that you learn better when you're having fun.
Yes, that's the best way.
100%.
And it's that thing of, oh yeah, it's a rough sport. People are going to get smashed, but while you're doing it, have a good time as well.
There's no point. We're like middle-aged blokes at the end of the day.
Thanks for that.
Smashing each other up.
I'm more of a man now than I used to be, I think. I'm not gonna lie.
It just gets us nowhere, does it? No. If you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Plus, you're more on the dark side. You love the wrist lock.
Wristlocks.
That you are. I think the lineage of wristlocks, Henshaws comes from you via me. There's
Probably,
that one open mat. I think where was it? I think it was Grapple House, Milton.
Yeah, it'll be shortly after I did the Wrist Lock the World.
Yeah, and you literally just destroyed me with wrist locks for the best part of 6 minutes. And then, luckily I saw you getting destroyed by Steve by like always. A couple of rounds later.
Just to make sure he puts him in his place.
Yeah. and then I come back to Enshore's and I was like, I gotta try some of these wrist lock things, and I got Paolo, and then I started going, all right, and then I started I want to get 50 wrist locks in a year counter. I got to 47, and that was with an MCL tear that took me out for 8 weeks. I was like, damn it.
I could have got wasn't for that pesky injury.
Yeah, god damn that knee ligament. Yeah, and then I think started wrist locking Martin because it was fun because the reactions you get out of him is hilarious because he squeaks and makes weird noises.
It's not squealing, it's not proper sub, is it?
Yeah, and then he started taking him on as part of his game, and it literally become part of your game. Wrist locks and tickles.
Well, to pass a guy to tickle person, and then you just wristle.
It works. It works. Dig your fingers in the right place. It works.
I've got the third.
Or in Ben's case, the wrong place.
Is there a wrong place?
I've got the third one, but I try not to use it. Usually it's leg escapes. I kick in the balls and say sorry.
It's like, oh,
sorry.
Then everything's fine.
Didn't have a magnifying glass on.
So I think this week we've got Martin going into comp his Grapple Industries.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this.
I might be reffing one of your matches.
Oh yeah.
Good.
He's reffing.
I was supposed to be doing that as well, but I'm coerced. Yeah. Everything I do is coerced, isn't it? I don't do anything by myself.
You have no agency whatsoever.
No, I just do what people tell me.
See, this is what people think. They think that I'm the one that drives everything. I just have the ideas. Ultimately, if he doesn't want to do something, he won't do it. No. Really, when it comes to especially when I want to do something. If I say, "Can we do?" If you thought about this, I'll either just get no response, or it'll just go.
But
that's it. Like no conversation around it. No kind of to and fro throwing the ideas. I have to do that all by myself, and people wonder why I'm an overthinker. So I'm a woman anyway.
She was like that when I met her.
I was like that anyway, but now it's way worse. I just kind of... So with the gym, yes, obviously it was me that made the suggestion. Oh, you could open your own gym, you could do this. But I have learned over the years that if I throw an idea, especially something like that at him, it has to come from somebody else before he'll even consider it. Because, just drawing on the point that you made when you were speaking then, about he keeps saying he's rubbish on the mats, and I'm like, it doesn't matter how much I say to him,
comparing to
you are good at what you do, you are a really good coach. I'm his wife,
we all
so he genuinely thinks that I'm just going to say that to just make him feel better. But over the years I have learned, and I've said to him, if you are shit, I'm not going to tell you that you're good, because it doesn't work. And especially with my training and my job, I know that doesn't work with people. I can't be dishonest in that way. If you're rubbish, I'm not going to tell you that you're really, really good. I hate that. And so when you suggested to him you need to open your gym, I was like, yes,
pretty sure
finally.
She coerced you and you coerced me.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. The point is that as soon as you actually had somebody else that was saying what I was saying, I was like, finally. Because now maybe he'll start paying attention.
So that means you know his secret. So each time you want gears moving faster,
just go and tell somebody else to go and talk to him.
Literally, it's so simple.
I'm actually very fragile. I had a discussion with Richard Herbert the other week, who actually turned up to training once. That's gobsmacked. But he's talking to me. He said, when you got your purple belt, you weren't a purple belt. But then as soon as it around your waist, you went into beast mode. And I need that external kind of validation, I think, before I do anything. If I don't, I never do it. I'm too lazy.
Oh, he is.
And that's why I am rubbish on the mats, because I can't be bothered. I'll let you style me, and then I'll settle the traps. I'll wait till it's primed, and then I'll wrist lock you.
Or he'll punish you. He'll punish you. He does that a lot.
But I'm too lazy for all this scrambling
No,
nonsense.
the thing is, I've seen you compete, and you're solid. You're going against these guys that are probably competing.
You compete way more than two of us combined.
Yeah,
and I hate it. I absolutely hate competing.
When you went to Ikigai, was it Ikigai 5?
I've done most of them.
And you were there, and it was like the guy that you're competing against was a proper guy who goes out and, you know, he's
Competes all the time.
he's got a smooth comp account that's got in triple digit figures, and you're just like, all right, and then you have a go, and you know what? It's like it was great jiu-jitsu you're doing. You did was it a Kimura escape that you got? That was
I thought he
really
was
clean, and it was.
I know my stuff. It's just
and you weren't. He wasn't dominating you in any way, and you know he was trying his weird little 10th planet shit on you, and you're like.
Was that car slice? Oh, I was like, no.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
And you looked at the video. I was like, yeah.
And you did really well. And you're saying you're not good on the mat. You're good on the mat. You're solid on the mat.
Yeah. But then you roll with other. There's levels, isn't there?
Well, you're supposed to feel like crap.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to feel good,
better.
and then roll with somebody else and just get absolutely smashed to pieces. Why do you think people say to me they're like, I can't get in anywhere. Yeah. There's only a handful of people that know how to get me out of turtle.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to go look it up now, aren't they? But because I've been smashed for however many months, 9 months, 10 months, whatever, deliberately, so that, well, it's just stuck in my head. Everyone will say, your defence is this. Well, yeah, because I'm just constantly getting hurt, and now I have to learn how to not get hurt, and now I've got to learn how to get from not getting hurt to hurting you, not deliberately, you know what I mean? But I really hope that that's the kind of vibe that comes out of the gym, that you can just go into a competition and enjoy it. Everybody's different, but when I really, really, really hope that when people come into our gym, they come in and they enjoy the atmosphere. They can just kind of be pinned, be submitted over and over again, and still come out and say, I absolutely love that. Yeah. Like Ben said, he just needs to break even with this. Yeah. Because I know that he's doing this for my AP, for my dream, and he does that all the time. And I'm going to get really soppy now, so I'm so sorry.
You make me cry.
He does.
I know it's something that he would do.
Carry on.
You're so bad. You're so bad. I know the gym's something that he wants to do, but like I said, it's not something he would have done on his own. Yeah. But because I wanted the building for my alternative provision, he was like, okay, well, let's do it then, because jiu-jitsu's the basis of it. Yeah. So really, yes, it's our gym, but it's so much more than that, because our gym has to have that atmosphere. Like you said, you have to come in and feel comfortable. So the three things that underpin everything in that building is to be safe, to be seen, to feel safe, to feel seen, and feel heard. Yeah. And there's different levels to that. The macho level, which is, I'm safe to just do what I want, and they know I'm here and they're listening to me. But at the very kind of softy level, when I have teenagers walking into that building, I don't want that. I'm macho, I want to fight. Yeah. They are facing fight or flight mode 24/7 or freeze all the time. I don't want people coming into our gym and going, do I need to fight? Do I need to fly? Do I need to freeze? Yeah. I want them to go, I'm here to work through whatever I need to. And those students and those kids need to come in and go, I'm safe. Yeah. I can feel what I need to feel. They see me, they know I'm here. They're paying attention, and they're listening. They can hear me. They're not just listening, they're hearing me. So if I'm going to bring kids into that gym, everybody's got to be on the understanding that you are not going to be a dick in this gym. It literally, you read the rules in the gym. It's a jiu-jitsu gym, but I want people to be there, and I want them to want to stay there. Yeah. They want to fight, you fight. If you don't want to fight, you don't. It's fine. Yeah.
I saw your post on Instagram regarding sportsmanship after if it was the.
Oh, I was fuming. I was fuming. It was, and if it wasn't for the fact that I now have to be very careful in public, because as you can see, I can get very vocal and I have to be very careful. I would have been outright having a full-on set 2 with a couple of the people in there, because we were cheering other gyms. We like supporting. I don't care who you are. Yeah. We're going to support you because They're
going out there and you're
doing
doing
something
it, yeah.
fucking amazing. I really hope my friends and family don't listen to this because I'm saying they're doing something so incredible. Don't you
Just going to do a shortcut of swearing.
I know, like, beep, 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 beep. Don't you dare walk into a sporting event and you boo the opponent.
No.
Just don't you dare, because
I've only booed Ben.
It's mainly anyone from Majestic, really. Like, I know a guy like Paul got booed because he was against Ronnie, and Ronnie's obviously got loads of like mates, so the entire place was Ronnie's mates.
Yeah, but
The only reason I'm going to boo you is because you made me touch his taint.
I didn't make it, I just made it available.
No, you weren't getting out of that thing no matter what.
you didn't say no.
I made it available to
They didn't have
Martin
a
as well.
choice. He bent over right in
yeah,
front
he
of me.
really did. You literally, in this video, you just kind of see him go. It was so funny. Sportsmanship is good, as long as things are done in jest. If you know things are done in jest, that's different.
Yeah.
But it's when people deliberately do it because they think they're all that, and I'm like, mate, you get in there and you go toe to toe with that lad, and then see who's going to boo.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Like, I would never do that. Yeah. And I have to say this comes from not just me as a person, but because of the many years that I spent in Majestic and working for Kev and being around the culture that he created with his fighters, with his coaches. That instilled in me a level of expectation when it comes to sportsmanship. You will never ever see Kev kick off, boo. No. You just never saw him do it. The only time you ever saw him get angry was when he genuinely believed that one of his fighters won and they should have, and the judges were being stupid. That's it. And that kind of filtered into his coaches, and then that kind of filtered into the class.
Yeah.
And then gradually those people who were dickheads would get weeded out and they'd leave. And because I spent so much time around that culture, I thought that's why I feel safe. That's why I felt seen, and that's why I felt heard. Yeah. And I kind of took that ethos and moved it into the gym. He does all the man teaching, coaching, all the boy stuff and enjoying all the... And I just make sure it stays at a level so that there'll be time.
So your mum.
Basically. Yeah. But we have a good time.
You're jumping off the turnbuckle.
I'm like, watch your fingers, so you know, and he's like, what, smash.
Yeah.
But we've got a good balance.
But that's the good partnership that you have with, like, in a relationship and a man and woman type, you both have that energy that seems to match each other. And it's that yin and yang where it's, the whole is greater than the sum.
On the side.
So each time she doesn't see you, like, oh yeah, let's try that.
I'll make sure she's back to turned, but we've got cameras everywhere in the new gym, so it's going to be hard.
We literally have them everywhere. With jokes being said, like, I'm not a fluff. No. You know, I'm not a snowflake. I will give you a good run for your money if you come at me. However,
you're cross-facing me like a champ before. So.
amazing. You can thank Ben for that. But we just want you to have a good time. Yeah. Like, come in and have a good time, and that's it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like all my videos are just fun submissions. They aren't really realistic, but you can pull them off for which I do need one. I need you guys to come up with my next one. I'm running out of ideas. I used the Strapado 4 times recently, so I need a new obsession.
Strapado?
It's like a stockade.
So
it's a bit like a...
Not that we can mention his name these days, but J-Rod on the video with Demetrius Johnson. Yeah. He got 2 arms behind the back.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
So we nicknamed it. Well, one of my guys nicknamed it the Strapado. It's a medieval torture technique where you tie him up.
Nice. Like that. Maybe that's what we should just do. Go through like humour and stuff.
Times. I need the next humorous submission, please. Go.
We will find.
Have you seen that other like Steve Stockade?
Was he showing it earlier to Lou?
No, Steve was because when we started doing Stockade, Steve said, "Oh, if you do this, basically, when you're in Stockade, you walk over and you climb your feet and over
into the groove switch."
Yeah. So basically, feels like a shoulder is gonna pop out.
So on topic with
it's like a cherry on a cake.
So on topic with the podcast then.
Yep.
What do you think makes bad jiu-jitsu?
What, a podcast or jiu-jitsu itself?
In jiu-jitsu itself.
In jiu-jitsu itself.
And don't point at us and say you two.
It's the ego, isn't it? Like, not. I put a post up recently saying that, like, I let my students tap me all the time. Yeah. Someone actually messaged me and was like, "You can't let your students tap you, bro. What are you doing?" But if you haven't got the ego, you can learn, and you can play on bottom, and you can put yourself in an armbar, and then you're able to get out of it in a cool way. If you go 5 or whatever it is, because you've been put there so many times, and you've got the limit, you know where to tap. But if you've got an ego and you don't ever get yourself put in those positions, there's always going to be a bigger dog. There's always going to be someone that's better, and then they will come and exploit that weakness. Whereas if you're humble and you play, we play jiu-jitsu. It's not a fight, is it? As long as you're playing, that's
it's just a game, isn't it?
It doesn't count how many times you tap a person on the mat when you're rolling. It's not competition, not tournament, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I'll let my guys think it is, because I'll post their rubbish taps all over the internet. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
See, I think if you
celebrate all his victories, don't you?
If it's more rubbish and you post it online, then you attract more viewers.
They're like, oh, okay.
You've not seen those videos, those like karate armbars with their legs like everywhere.
But it's the whole point is skill acquisition.
Yeah.
And you get people that come into the the training session and all they want to do is win. And they've, I think we've said it a few times, there's, you get the people where they've got a game set and they'll just play that game all the time. And it's like, all right, that's great. You've refined this one section of jiu-jitsu. It's like, where's the rest? Are you playing with that yet? Because, I'll do I did a lot of weight training, so I'm understanding a periodization.
That's why it was so heavy,
Yeah. So, but I understand periodization, where, you give yourself like a season to do something. Like it can be a 12-week season of, I'm going, in these 12 weeks, I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to work on this. And then you move on to something else. Then you move on to something else.
Go back to the first
and you probably see, like, just like Tish, I think with my early start in jiu-jitsu, early time in jiu-jitsu, I went fully defensive. Mine was, if I can deal with a bad position, all that, whenever I get put in one, I'm not going to worry.
Yeah.
So, and now it's like, I'm going, okay, for the next 12 weeks now that I'm secure in my defensive, I'm like, what am I going to play with now? And I think for the, I've finally left my side control phase. I'm now looking for my new phase. The side control phase.
Doesn't exist.
I love it. I just get this crazy pressure. I think I adapted, so Fionn Davis' little instructional she did about mount control. And it was just about getting that nice cross face, holding the lat, and, you got that arm free. And I changed that into my side control, and I'm just driving this dirty crossface with a lat grip, and it's just like that's the basis of my
make them suffer.
Yeah, and then towards the end of my little period of side control, I took on that Chris Burns. The guy who's does down in Australia, I think 0 Point. He's doing crossbody, so I've been playing with crossbody as well at side control, and it's just like my side control now is weird because no matter where I'm at on the top side, I'm just working different angles, and if they want to go for an underhook, you use that underhook, I'll just move this there, and it's just this. My comfort level in side control now is not just being the big guy; it's that thing of I've got the text there a bit now with it as well, but as much tech as a 41-year-old blue belt can have.
Hey, one day you'll be a 40-odd flipping purple, then it'll be brown, then it'll be black, and I keep saying this to people like. I suppose the one thing I particularly struggle with. You are getting on now.
I'm 42 this year.
The one thing I struggle with is what you were just saying then about, like, I don't know, I might have heard this wrong, or I might have just imagined it, about being big. Like, did you say somewhere in there that you were like being a big guy?
I think top side control, if you're a bigger guy, is usually just lying on someone.
Yeah.
And I've been working away from that to try and find actual tech and work on actual tech at the top. So
I'm the flip side.
Yeah.
So because the majority of people that, obviously I'm a female, I mean, I'm not small female, don't get me wrong, I'm like 72 kilos and a lot of me is muscle, and I get that. But at the same time, if I get my arms around you, I mean, in defence, you're not getting in. You're not getting in those arms unless you're bare normal somebody, and it's just vile, and they're always going to get you. Yeah. I do struggle on the bottom, and one of the big reasons why I stopped doing jiu-jitsu when I first tried in Andy's class wasn't just because this guy was an absolute tool. Not Andy, by the way, the guy that I was with, just to say that. Not just because this idiot was on me who didn't like the fact that a girl was stronger than him, But I was claustrophobic. Like, I was like, I hate this pressure on me, and I don't like not being able to breathe. Once I got past that, now it's just the fact that I am smaller.
Yeah.
And it is hard. And this is where the female thing's going to come in, so I'm so sorry. It's really freaking annoying when a guy goes really light going, oh, it's a female. No, I need that pressure. I need to be put under that pressure. I need to have that alarm bell go off to force me into a situation to either relax, think of skill and move, or to do the balance, figure out where his body weight is. Because in a real life situation, I am a female, and if I do get attacked and a guy's on top of me, they are 9 times out of 10 going to be a lot bigger than me. Yeah. And adrenaline's going to be going. They're going to be like, oh, so they're going to be heavier, they're going to be stronger. I need that. Yeah. I need that pressure. And so as much as you will hear me going, when I'm with Ben or with...
It gets me into trouble. We visited
all the time.
Charles Garcia in Scotland, and she's screaming. He's like, what's going on?
Are you okay?
Like, she's just like this.
It's just me.
She's dramatic.
I'm very dramatic. But I do need that. And some guys, I know, and you did it, but I think you were just letting me work. I think you were just letting me work, which was amazing. Within about 2 seconds, I could feel how strong you are, and I was like, shit. I was like, he's like a bigger version of Bradley Neal, who's like you could just feel the muscle, and you're just like, right, if that gets in my neck, I'm screwed, or if that gets in my calf, I'm screwed.
Weak for us, though.
But it's that point of, I need the guys to not be afraid to put the pressure on. Like, let me work. Obviously, I'm still a white belt at the moment.
You don't want to be bullied, but you don't want to be patronised.
Yeah, like, don't go...
Because that's it. It's patronising, isn't it? If it's too light. Yeah.
The guys, what's the guy supposed to do? Yeah. If he does, he's damned. If he doesn't, he's damned. But I think that's where he comes in with the communication, like...
Volume up, volume down.
Where are you in your training? What do you need from me? Yeah. Like, do you want the pressure? How hard do you want me to go? That kind of thing. And you were about right, to be honest, with when we were rolling.
I couldn't pass your legs.
No, but
to be honest,
it made me work, and he had the right pressure, and I kind of had to fight his strength. I had to fight your strength, and
that's why
it was great. It was a really good roll, even because it made me think. So for me, it's the opposite. I'm a lot looser,
and I'm just like, let's move around and.
I do struggle on the bottom though. As soon as I deliberately roll with him now. I never used to be able to roll with you, did I? Because I was always getting hurt. And I was
at one point I said, you need to stop rolling with me.
I was fuming.
She was getting hurt every time. I was like, just pack it in.
No, really. Like, he was serious, because it was after what was in my ribs, wasn't it? And I was in so much pain. And he was just like, just stop, didn't you?
Are you in pain everywhere? Everyone's like that. Yeah. All the joints like clicking and all.
I just manned up and he got nicer. I think it was that kind of... Yeah. There was a bit of a mismatch.
So you met in the middle?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Or I just got tougher, I'm not entirely sure.
But like, some things don't work, do they, if you're too light? At Globetrotters, there's someone adopted her, like a little brown belt.
She was amazing. She was so nice.
It's about 10 kilo. But the drilling, it was like a half guard to knee bar, where you have to lift them up and swivel into the knee bar. And she couldn't do it, so we called over the instructor, and she was like, yeah, you need to put pressure on her. It's because I was being nice, it didn't work. So just smash them.
She was amazing though, and she was the epitome of she's a brown belt, she's smaller than me, she knew when to stop, when to go. Like, she got me half my size, and she got me like so pretzeled up and made me work. I was blowing out my backside, and it was just amazing. So yeah, for me, it's more, my problem is being stuck, because that guys either go too heavy because they're intimidated, they're like, I'm not gonna let a woman do this, or they're too nice. So you guys are pretty much screwed. You're not gonna get it right. Either way, are you really? To be honest, because that's where experience comes from.
That's why he was showing to me today, like, you need to use frames and move yourself, because usually what I do, I just bench press everyone. Literally.
God.
I was like, if you're going to bench press someone like Ben, who's got that quick
arm bar sitting,
it's arm bars.
Because I was just messing about, and he's
that's it. A straight arm is just an arm bar waiting, isn't it? So.
You literally just waiting there. There's that video in there of this guy. I don't even know who it is, where he's just like, he waits for somebody to move and he goes, smack, spine. And I love that. I love it.
Oh, you done that? Did you do it? Yeah, you done that.
It's an Americana. And I was waiting there like that. And then I was like, it was in the position of, oh, this is the exact same position in that video. So I just like go, so I was like that, and move my arm to let this guy.
And you
Yeah, you got it. Straight up. I can't believe that worked.
It does.
I thought you were doing that to Liam because you were chilling in there like that.
I was trying, but Liam used to be rubbish, didn't he? And then he suddenly got really good.
It's when he got his blue belt.
Yeah, he got really
good. As soon as he got his blue belt, he got really good.
So I can't do that chilling thing with him anymore because he's just too quick, too good.
No. Plus he sticks with Mikey always. You've seen rolling, slapping each other.
It's so serious when they do it.
The partnership that's made Liam really good is partnership with Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Them two have just, his takedown games is up in all of it.
But they let each other work. Like, that's the difference. You find somebody that you can put the pressure on. Now, for those that are kind of listening, you're like, oh, well, she's just a white belt. I've been around jiu-jitsu since he started. Yeah. So I've watched it. I've been to competitions. I've watched people go up through the belts, what works, what doesn't, and as a sports psych, I have to pay attention. So if you see me on the side of the mat watching, I'm not being creepy. Like, I'm not just up there going, oh, feet, oh, sweat. That's Ben's job. Ben's the one that does all that. I'm watching.
Which you really wouldn't think considering your obsession with wristlocks and oil checks.
Oh no, he loves feet too. They all love the feet.
It's just a wrist lock of the foot, isn't it?
It's exactly the same.
And what's an oil check? A wrist lock of the colon.
Anything. If it's not supposed to be there, do it. So I will watch, and I do watch how people pair up, and I watch the dynamics of people that are rolling, even people that I don't know. I may not even know their name, but I bet you I've seen them roll about 100 times at open mats, and that's why I love travelling around the collabs with Ben, and that's why I love being involved in it. I might only do 2 rounds, but I will sit there and I will watch. Because when they then compete, I see the correlation. I say, right, well, who are they normally training with?
Yeah.
They are the way that they are because they've got a really good training partner. They've got somebody who they can trust.
Yeah.
They what? Those 3 things, yet again. They're safe, they're seen, they're heard. Yeah. They're safe because they know that they're not going to get their ankle ripped off because they train with that person. They know that the person can see where everything is. And they're heard because they can communicate and go, stop, don't do that, and everything will be fine. Yeah. Always those 3 things. You can apply it to absolutely everything. Yeah. And that's why those 2 are so good at rolling, because you can see the trust, you can see the development in the jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And you can also see it when people shouldn't be rolling with each other as well. Like, it's really, really, really interesting from my point of view when I see 2 people pair up and I've been sat there thinking, that's a bad match. That's not going to go well because their demeanour will change, or they're just not, their ego's too big. Yeah.
Happens to me sometimes. There's certain people that within the community who I'll roll with, and I'll actively avoid them not because of them personally, but just their style of rolling really doesn't chime in with my goals. Yeah. And it's that thing of I'll be avoidant of that, and sometimes I'll go and roll with them occasionally, and I'll use them as a test roll just to see where I am against that version, their game. Because the thing is, if they're being to a level of like damaging rough, where they'll put injuries on you if they're not careful, it's like, okay, how can I handle that? And then see where my skill level is in handling that. And I'll go in there a lot more cautious than I would with someone else. So when I roll with Martin, me and Martin just roll around like we're a pair of idiots, and we're just
But you can.
We're like 2 children just having a toy fight.
Mum, it's my turn to wrestler.
Yeah. I've actually got something like that.
Get up, go like, Mom, walk up. One of them starts crying, Steve comes storming in. Who did what?
What did you do?
And then I trying to, in the corner. My hands over his mouth to stop him crying. Stroking his head.
Shove socks in his mouth. Shut up. I think I have one of
McDonald's. You can have 2 toys.
You can have my Happy Meal as well.
People change as well, though. People that you originally start to roll with. I've noticed that with me personally. People that I would roll with in the beginning that I trusted and have no issues with. Now I won't roll with them because I've seen how their ego's developed, or how mine is developed, and I need to check myself. Like, I'm including myself in this as well. Prime example, reflection. I teach people to do this all the time, and they should do it. When knowing that Steve was here, for a moment, I was like, okay, black belt's here. I need to make sure that I need...
my tech is on point.
And then I was like, it took me probably 5-10 minutes to switch that round and go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What I'm in my head permanently, and even I did it. So I can only imagine how often other people do that.
Yeah.
That normally when you haven't got a significant person there, they just roll, they just enjoy it, just get on with it. But when the boss is there or the coach is there,
you can see people look at them
they turn into retards.
Yeah.
They turn into absolute retards, and you just like stop. And I very nearly did it. So I had to check myself and go, right, just pretend like nobody's here. You're just rolling, and then the whole thing changed.
You see people doing it all the time.
Like, it needs to stop.
You see people when they're like a head coach is there or a guest is there, like for a seminar, and they'll roll really like super aggressively, super like it's a comp roll quite a lot of the time.
Just to show
And what they're doing is when they're doing it, every so often you'll see them glance at the significant person.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're looking for approval.
Stop.
They're looking for approval. It's like, am I impressing you? Am I showing? Like, and it's like, they're rolling with their person. They don't give a crap.
Yeah. I watch my guys a lot. One, to make sure they're not injuring each other because they're retards, and two, just because I like jiu-jitsu. But there's certain people I will deliberately not watch, and they'll be like, "Did you see that?" No, I didn't. I was looking everywhere. I'm never going to see it. I'm never going to look at you because
You're after it.
Everyone does that.
Your coach will watch when he's watching. When they're watching, it's like that. Quite a lot of the time, it's usually during drilling that I find your coach is looking at your skill development, because it's during the drill that you're actually seeing people's movement in a controlled, deliberate manner. Yeah. When you're rolling, if you're rolling and having a little scrappy roll, you're getting messy.
Yeah.
And you're not really showing. You're showing understanding, but you're not showing that conscious understanding, because if you're rolling at 80% plus, you're rolling off instincts. Quite a lot of the time.
The only time you avoid looking at the Steve when rolling starts and he's looking who to roll with, and you just avoid.
Everyone avoids eye contact.
No.
You see, put a rash guard and you're like, shit.
I just want to put it out there. I went up to Steve for a roll, and he was like, "Nah, I need a rest." So he was clearly really scared because he hasn't rolled. He ducked me. He absolutely ducked me. I'm not going to. I will pretend that he was ducking me rather than the fact that he probably just didn't want to roll with a spazzy white belt. That's fine.
He also ducked me, and then I had the audacity to say that I was ducking him. Just saying.
So calling you out, Steve, just saying. I came up for a roll. You decided.
So when does Allsopp BJJ do its opening?
Don't tell him. Cut that out.
I'm on camera duty that day.
Yeah. So I think we'll start calling it, because we've been here for a while now. And what we'll do is just go around and you just say what your bits are. So you've got your behind the face of it. You got your podcast as well.
Yeah.
You also have your charity that you run.
Oh, the martial arts charity.
Allsopp BJJ. So if you like to just
I'll summarise it, because I'll be here all flipping day. So obviously you've got behind the face of it, which is just kind of an insight into sports, everybody, just life in general. You've got that's kind of me as a person and running my consultancy for athletes and things like that. With the podcast to boot. The Martial Arts Life Skills project, that was born out of kind of a similar time. It was something that I wanted to do to be able to facilitate kids getting into Muay Thai, because I did my master's dissertation on how Muay Thai can help children develop life skills. Out of that came that it can. Yeah. And I just decided to turn it into a charity because kids can't access it. It's very, very small. It's still attached to everything that we do, and obviously we raise funds to be able to pay the gyms for the sessions that the kids do, and it's all connected. Everything's connected. So the AP will kind of be a mishmash of that. But yeah, I think that's it for once. I've only got like 2 or 3 things.
Oh, yeah, but photography as well.
Oh gosh, yeah.
No one credits you for.
No, that's a kind of.
That's your side hustle.
It's not even a hustle. It's a hobby.
Hustles.
It's a hobby. It's very much kind of. It's not something I want to make money off. It's a
big list of hobbies.
Yeah, I can't sit still. Like, if I got an idea, I want to try it, and if it doesn't work, who
Cost me a
cares?
fortune.
But I'm doing it all. So I do a bit of photography. So you'll see me out with my camera at open mats and stuff. I like capturing the moments where people don't know, or you know, the candid stuff, but the emotional candid stuff, like when you really get deep. So yeah, you'll see me out and about. But the main excitement thing at the moment is obviously the gym, the AP. For those of you who don't know what an alternative provision is, just in case, it's where you've got school refusers, kids that are struggling with high school attendance, behaviour, SEN, SEMH, where the school can kind of utilise you as a provision a few hours a week where they can send those students to help them kind of balance education and reintegrate them into mainstream if it's an option.
Rather than banging them in isolation for hours at end.
The kids will come to us. That's why we're doing the jiu-jitsu.
Beats them up for a bit. Set them straight.
This is not kids.
You're not doing well for my kind of, I've got to go to schools and talk to them about this and tell them it's safe.
But yeah, it's...
So that's where the gym part comes in. We have to have Allsopp BJJ because every day that they come, they're going to be getting jiu-jitsu classes, as well as all the psychology fluffy stuff that I do on the side.
We essentially do everything. Like we went to a school for Steve the other day and taught jiu-jitsu for high school. We'll do anything.
So when does Allsopp BJJ open?
So officially it's open now just because of things. It's like a skeleton, a few hours a week, and then the official timetable 1st of July in Wigan. Allsopp BJJ on Instagram and allsoppbjj.co.uk, and then we'll expand from there. See what people want.
Yep. And you're
gonna do Sundays like or
so we're having a Sunday
open mat.
Yeah. So I think 1 o'clock. The timetable's on. I think it's all you can book on the class on the. I'm a tech head, so.
And then
and a geek,
the collab will end up there as well. Won't
the collab will be the 27th of July. The collab will be there. So if you want. Tough rolls come then. We've got a slope wall, so we've got like a 25-30 degree wall. I wanted a pit wall, but it didn't happen.
We didn't argue with the big Polish man.
Yeah, the big Polish man does it for free, so do what he says.
We did it how he wanted.
The
He's
wall's
the builder.
fun to play with.
Well, we've got a small Lithuanian man here who can build things as well.
Throw him at it, see if it. Picture of Craig Jones, you need to bow to before you come in.
No, you do not. No,
you do. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is definitely what we're going to do.
Look, I was okay with the picture going on.
We have to bow and say us.
And we can only wear white gis.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marty.
Oh my gosh.
I've got it now.
Yeah.
I've got
he's got a white gi.
5-6
I don't
pairs
have a
of
white gi.
I got a white gi and dyed it orange because I hate white.
Yeah.
All right.
And I got it for I think it was a Hodgie Gracie seminar, and you had to wear white. Didn't even end up going to it because I got my blue belt.
I think you got your purple belt in your orange gi, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you guys gi or no gi persons?
Bit of both. Used to be gi, then I swayed into no gi, and now I'm getting a bit old.
So want to go gi again?
Going back to gi. Gi's more fun. No gi's.
That's what I've.
Yeah. No gi's more relevant for the sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a little more.
And the entry
It's a
levels.
bit of both.
More traditional.
So.
I used to hate gi, but I think that was because my first experience in jiu-jitsu was in gi.
Yeah.
This absolute tool just wouldn't let go of me, and I was just like, mate, I'm going to knock you out, because I have major new mommy rage at the time. So it was a really bad experience. So gi, no gi, the kids classes will be coming at some point, but we want to kind of just slowly get into the timetable first, and then see where the kids kind of fit in, but we will be doing them.
And we want to highlight more like women and 30 plus. I'm not asked about the kids that want to smash each other. I don't particularly want them in the gym. They can come, but we're focusing on women and 30 plus.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be more of that in the sport.
Yeah.
Chill it out a bit.
Usually 30 plus.
It's an inclusive provision, isn't it? So.
Well, they don't want to necessarily injure you, because they don't want to get injured themselves, and it's at that kind of point where, as adults, we really start to settle down and understand ourselves and really know what we want to do. Exactly. And I want to get more women in there, because
you want to actually win rounds.
Hey, I win the rounds with boys, just saying. Do you know how many teenagers have come up against me and gone full spaz on me, and I've
And just to highlight,
dropped an elbow on the face.
a bit of a knee in the groin. Not that I do that.
You made the squeak harder.
Yes.
Remember, Sarah used to do that.
Yeah, she used to do a dick slice pass.
Ouch.
But instead of passing, she jumped literally
Jump on your neck.
Okay, I'm not that bad. I would never do that to you. But if you try to hurt me, I will definitely hurt you in one way or another.
But anyway, I do appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
And we'll let you get going to your...
I have no idea what time it is. We're going to be...
I know.
But it's fine.
It's Monday morning.
It's Monday morning already.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's gone dark, gone bright. But we do appreciate you coming, and we're looking forward to getting down to Allsopp. So
Definitely.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
See you next time.
You will.
Bye.